And again, and Sephiroth is level 50, and we can look at Sephiroth's materia. Boom, revive. All of his materia is mastered. All of his materia is max level. We can look at his stats. He's got 78 strength. And then also, note that Cloud is level 1. Remember that Cloud started the game as level 7. As level 6, and then he immediately leveled up to level 7. Whereas in this flashback of 5 years ago, Cloud is level 1. So the difference, the disparity between Cloud and Sephiroth is even more pronounced. Sephiroth has the Masamune, he has a gold armlet, a tough ring. He has all these maxed out materia. So the power emphasis of how much stronger Sephiroth is compared to us is impossible to overlook. It is emphasized in gameplay. What a fucking badass Sephiroth is. Using all these endgame materia, one-shotting enemies. The game isn't telling you, oh, Sephiroth's a cool dude, he's so strong and badass, because he's the new main villain. Oh, look, he killed the old main villain. Now look, now this guy's the new main villain. Look at how cool and badass he is. It's emphasizing it with gameplay. It's using the mechanics of the game, of the turn-based RPG, to show. It's showing and not telling that Sephiroth is the coolest, most horrifying threat that he could ever possibly be. In actual, like, gameplay mechanical terms. The story isn't going, oh, Sephiroth's so strong and cool. The gameplay, the turn-based combat that we interact with, is showing us that. We can't even give Sephiroth orders. We still give the, like, attack command for Cloud when his ATB fills up. But when Sephiroth's ATB fills up, he just does whatever he wants. And he fucking sweeps the entire enemy field every time. I love Tifa with her fucking cowboy hat. It's so stupid. So I love this because it's kind of like it's doing a little bit of world building. Again, with Final Fantasy, like, it's always a traditional Western fantasy kind of setting with swords and sorcery, Dungeons and Dragons, kings and castles, that kind of thing. Whereas the setting for Final Fantasy VII so far has been a lot more industrial and urban and cyberpunky. But it still has magic. You're still casting spells. You're still, like, casting cure and fire spells. So I really like this. The materia doesn't get a whole lot of explanation. There are still some things that are kind of left without any real explanation that I feel could have been given an explanation. But I still like this scene where it's talking about, like, how is there still magic in this setting that's very based on technology and industrialization? Well, for one thing, we know about Mako, which is like the natural resource of the planet, and we know that there's a connection between Mako energy and the Ancients. And now we know about the Ancients and their connection to materia. And so they're explaining that materia is really just Mako energy being condensed into a crystallized form, allowing us to harness its properties if you know how to use it. How to use it as a catalyst. And I like this line, where he's like, it's not fucking magic. It's understood. It's not magic. We understand how it works. Scientifically, they know what it is and how it works and why it works. So calling it magic is almost inaccurate. It's just another form of technology. Like, you know, taking a rock and sharpening it and tying it to a stick. That's not, like, that's technology, but it's using something natural and refining it into a form that it can be used. Mako and materia is the same way. Hojo, an inexperienced man who thinks that you can crossbreed between different species. What an idiot. A mass of complexes. Yeah, so I really like that little scene. Look at how cool and pre-rendered this is, you guys. Let's go. Oh, camera change. You stay the fuck here, bitch. No. Shut up. With your fucking cowboy hat. Hey, faceless Shinra Mook. You make sure you stay out here and spend time with Tifa. Don't get into any kind of hentai shenanigans out here when you're both alone together. Better take real good care of me. Anyway. Yeah. Why was it designed like this? Why is this the way that you're supposed to enter it? Why? So this is creepy. Genova. Well, that was simple. Whoop. Oh shit, that's some crazy fuck. Materia? But Hojo did some fucked up shit. Look at how fucked up Hojo is. Look at this fucked up Hojo bullshit. Whoa. Some kind of monster. Hojo of Shinra produced these monsters. Produced by Mako Energy. Monsters! Whoa! That awkward moment where your boss just starts having an existential fucking breakdown for no fucking reason. I thought I was a cool guy, but it turns out I'm just a freak. Like him. Look at that freak. His legs are all fucked up. So Hojo's just some fucking psycho weird-ass bullshit. Him trying to fucking get Red 13 and Aerith to fuck is not the weirdest thing Hojo has ever done. Yeah, Cloud, it's so weird that you went into the reactor and saw that shit, Cloud. Isn't it weird how you saw all that because you were there and went into the reactor and saw everything, right, Cloud? Everyone shut the fuck up. I like this story. Okay, so this flashback is taking a long fucking time. Do you want to maybe take a break? Do you maybe want to take a break because of how long this fucking 30-minute flashback is taking? Tifa, you were there, right? Can you corroborate this story? Is Cloud telling the truth? Is Cloud telling the story? I mean, he was there, and then you were there too, right, Tifa? And you saw everything that he saw, except for the parts where you weren't allowed in the same places where Cloud was, right, Tifa? You were there with Cloud at the time, right, Tifa? Yeah, so then Sephiroth just started flipping the fuck out for no goddamn reason. Hence, the Shinra Mansion. Come on, nameless, faceless Shinra guard dude. Come with me. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be a cool guy. Come on, faceless, nameless Shinra guard who has no name and is not an important character at all. Come on. Let's go figure out what the fuck is wrong with Sephiroth. I feel the presence of an optional party member behind this door, but we can't open it because it's a flashback. Oh well. X year, X month, X day, 2000X. It's 2000X. Anyway. Genova confirmed to be an ancient. Who fucking confirmed that? Was it an idiot? Yeah, so then Sephiroth cooped himself up in some fucking library and just kept reading a bunch of bullshit and started going crazy. The moral of the story is, don't read, kids. Just don't read. It'll make you go crazy. I don't know, Genova's a pretty unique name. I think you might be the child of some headless monster in a tube. I'm just saying. Could it have been Hojo? Could it? Could it all be because of fucking Hojo? Yeah, I don't know, Sephiroth. You seem like you really shouldn't be left alone right now. You seem like you're not doing great. It seems like letting Sephiroth kind of stew in whatever emotional turmoil he's currently going through isn't a good idea. I feel like there could be consequences. Huh. I smell smoke. Is someone cooking bacon? I want some bacon. Hey, Sephiroth, someone's cooking bacon outside. Do you smell the bacon, nameless, faceless Shinra guard? Come on, let's tell Sephiroth that there's some bacon cooking outside. Sephiroth! Come have some bacon! They're not gonna save you any, dude. It's bacon. Oh, fuck. Oh, well, at least he's having a fun time. He's laughing. He must be feeling better. Hey, Sephiroth, are you feeling better? Are you doing okay, buddy? Feel like you're not doing okay. Sephiroth, are you going crazy? Are you having a megalomaniacal breakdown based on your fragile sense of self-worth and your inconsistent ass backstory? Don't you see? No. No, I don't. But it failed because Genova's not an ancient. You fucking idiot. Produced? Awkward walk cycle. Antagonist established. Oh. A little bit awkward. Oh. Oh. Yep, so now the stage is set for why Sephiroth's a big deal. Oh, fuck. Here, I'm not gonna give you any medical attention or anything, but, you just sit here tight. You just sit tight here. You're not the Sephiroth I used to know. Reading those books changed you. And that's the end of my story. What? Cloud, I feel like you're skipping a really cool climactic boss fight. Nah, that'd be dumb. That'd be fucking stupid, Barrett. Why the fuck would there be a big cinematic boss fight against Sephiroth? That'd be dumb. You're stupid, Barrett. You're stupid for thinking that. I don't remember what happened. Well, it's like, you know, I don't really remember what happened, but I mean, come on, there's no way. I mean, he was just so badass. And he was like, yeah, so they said he probably died or something. But clearly he ain't dead, because he was running around killing President Shinra and shit like that. I want to know what happened. Motherfucker, weren't you there? You're the one telling us what happened. What the fuck? Why don't you remember, you stupid bitch? Tifa. Yeah, I was there too. It's super weird. A lot of this doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's almost like that story was completely unreliable and told to us by a crazy person who was making half of it up. It's almost like that. I don't know. None of this makes sense. Barrett, you are a lot more on the ball than you think you are. I'm gone. Fuck this. I don't give a shit about none of that. I'm just gonna go beat up everyone who's a bad guy. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay, you do that, Barrett. Oh, brother. Tifa. Cloud? Are you, like, a complete fucking psycho? Because I was listening to your story, and I was in your story, and I just gotta say, Cloud, I think you might be full of shit. Tifa's like, what the fuck, dude? Oh yeah. Aerith's like, oh yeah, my mom was an agent, so that story was probably fucked up for her. Because Sephiroth's like, my mom was an agent, and he flipped the fuck out. A fascinating story. I really love Red. He's so fucking cool. Yeah, so now we can actually customize our party. Although, honestly, like, I really don't like in RPGs where you have, like, this big, expansive party with all these party members, and it's like, pick which one you want to pick. I mean, most people are just gonna stick with their favorites anyway. Most people are just gonna have, like, you only ever have a party limit of, like, 3 or 4 party members, and they have, oh, here's 30 party members. Pick 3 of them. Most people are only gonna pick their favorites, and then there's always, like, an EXP disparity where the ones you don't use are weaker than the ones you do use, which further disincentivizes you from using other party members. Honestly, I prefer RPGs where it's like, here is your party, and that is your party for the entire game. Like Final Fantasy V or something like that, you know? Like, just give me my party, and they fulfill these roles, and that's your party. I don't like having, like, all these different party members that you constantly have to swap out and worry about not having enough EXP compared to the others, and juggle all these different skills and specialities. Just give me my party, because, I mean, like, honestly, like, so, oh, okay, here's a really good, you can see that Cloud's portrait is different. I was mentioning that before. Anyway. Yeah, so that backstory that we got, I don't want to give the game away, but it is really good to go back and watch that flashback again after beating the game and being like, oh my god, what the fuck? Because it's not like Cloud wasn't making anything up, but what he told us isn't exactly what happened, right? Because he is a crazy person, as has been established. And I like, it's really interesting the way Sephiroth is portrayed. Because again, it's set up in terms of gameplay, like, look at how badass Sephiroth is. He's on your team, he's part of your party, and he's fighting alongside you. And he's kind of a chill dude. He's like, oh yeah, you can go visit your family, and all that stuff. Like, he's kind of aloof, but he's a cool guy. And then the instant they get to the Mako reactor, he just goes crazy. Like, he on a dime just flips the fuck out. Because that's what happens, like, he's the coolest, most badass dude in all of the Shinra army. He's like, you're the coolest and the most special, and you're the biggest badass there ever was. And who knows what he was told while he was growing up. And then he learns, like, oh, I'm a genetic freak. I was made by a weird science experiment. What the fuck? So, like, that's like a weird blow to the ego. And then that ego gets built back up, and he's like, oh, I am special, I am the coolest. It turns out my mom was an ancient, and now and now he's clinging to that in like a Norman Bates from Psycho kind of way, where he's like, I have to fulfill my destiny because I'm such a cool guy. I've based my entire sense of self-worth on being special and like having a destiny and all of that. But what I thought that was has been taken away from me by the truth of my own creation. So now he's kind of like desperately trying to make up anything else he can in order to hold on to that overinflated self-image that he has about himself. But he's also losing his fucking mind and completely gone off the rocker insane. And it's even more because, like, there's 3 versions of Sephiroth through the game. There's, like, the cool guy Sephiroth, there's Norman Bates Sephiroth, and then there's the 3rd version of Sephiroth, which is the actual antagonist of the game going forward. But anyway, I'm basically thinking, like, at this point, this might be a good spot to put the playthrough on hiatus, I think, because, I mean, like, it's been, what, like a good 10 hours or so worth of video footage up till this point. And this is where, I mean, this isn't where Final Fantasy VII Remake ends. It's where it should have ended. Final Fantasy VII Remake ends in a much stupider place, but this is basically, like, the same spot in the story where Final Fantasy VII... How the fuck is Final Fantasy VII Remake gonna do that flashback? Anyway. That was kind of, like, the original motivation of, like, man, that remake sure is bad. I want to talk about how good the original Final Fantasy VII is, because you don't need the remake. Final Fantasy VII is still good, just play it. Because look at how good it is, and how much better it is than what the remake did. But it's also, wow, this was a horrible mistake. It was like a 50-hour RPG. Why did I decide this was a good idea? So I think, you know, if anywhere, the spot where Final Fantasy VII recoded Remake 7.77, you cannot go to the Promised Land. I think it's a good spot to, like, kind of put it off. Not to say, like, we have to wait until the next Final Fantasy VII Remake game comes out before we continue. Because honestly, if I had my way, there wouldn't be another Final Fantasy VII Remake game. If I had my way, the Final Fantasy VII Remake wouldn't exist at all, but anyway. Yeah. I think that's a good place to put a pin in it for now, in Final Fantasy VII, and start uploading these. And we'll see what happens. The motivation is not quite there anymore, so that's a good spot.